Alright, y'all. We're back with more Disco Elysium. Hope you're doing great. Let's see how this goes. Everything's so nice in here now. Let's try look at our reflection again after all this time. That's the door. Kim's room. Look at all of Kim's stuff. Medicinal supplies.
These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You make out notes on this and other recent cases.
I had Gart open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night.
Thought I was dead for a moment.
Back there on the plaza, I think you very nearly had a heart attack. Alcoholism has damaged you more than bullets have. We should go.
Anything else in here? Not really. Let's try the mirror.
The bathroom mirror has been wiped completely clean. You see the reflection of yourself in the mirror. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face.
Electrochemistry. Let's try leveling up a bit more. Let's try increasing our electrochemistry so we can hopefully figure this out. Let's see. So, anything's decreasing it? Need to wear the shirt. That increase helps. Pants help. There's a shirt that helps too, right? I could have sworn there's a shirt that helped with it. Maybe not. Or I'm not already wearing it. Alright, this will have to do.
The bathroom mirror has been wiped completely clean. You see the
42%.
reflection of yourself still not happening. It won't come off that.
We're stuck with this face. Let's change back into normal clothes. Somewhat normal clothes. Then cool hat. And then our cool tie. And actually let's do this side. This side's better. And we'll call that good.
This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory.
Oh no. Not the hat.
Kraz Mazov would have worn this, Yushenka. Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's why it bears a Mazovian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, we're in this...
Oh gosh.
Hey. Psst.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building.
No, I don't feel like doing any political stuff. I feel like solving the gosh darn murder. Where were we going? Window in the room. Ooh, what'd she leave on the table?
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note. A few lines jotted down in large, uneven handwriting, just as the writer was about to rush out the door. I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift upstairs.
A gift?
The lieutenant turns to the staircase suspiciously, looking for any signs of another presence in the shadows above. She left in a hurry.
It's hardly surprising.
What could this gift be?
I am not drawing my gun. Yet. But I don't like gifts.
He says he's not, but his hand moves instinctively toward his holster as he studies the note. Just don't walk into another radio trap, okay? Relax. Not everyone is out to trap you.
So true. Let's try it out. Wonder what the present could be. Red thread. Oh, did she line it with thread? Bet that's what happened. Maybe not. Thread is tied to the antenna. Alright, Kim, what do we do here?
Yes?
Kim. Kim. Look at this thread, Kim. Alright, let's look at the window. That's what we probably should have done.
You see the same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman, only now a red thread bisects the room, pointing from the antenna outside to the cupboard on the wall.
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
The lieutenant tests the thread with his finger. Drawn taut, it rebounds instantly.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez, B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime.
Where does the thread lead?
It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond.
Oh, this is the one that's on the island,
B
I bet.
triple prime, the island in the bay.
Trying to tell us the shot came from the island?
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point.
This is also a location we have yet to rule out.
So it is.
Maybe we need to go to the island? I'm going to the island, are you in?
Of course. I mean,
He's taking to gather himself and says,
how do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone.
maybe someone in this fishing village?
Maybe. There were boats there. We should ask around.
Perfect. No, don't do that. Great, we have a mission. We're just going to go to the fishing village, nice and quick like. And hopefully nothing distracts us on the way. See, I guess. Crazy how much game they've packed into a small area, you know. Don't want to talk to anybody, it would depress me. What is this?
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Skull.
Looks like Cindy the Skull has been here.
The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Or some other hoodlum. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday.
I smell heavy fuel oil.
And blood. Some of it is even yours.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable?
What are you trying to imply, Fingers?
You could buy some smokes, light up a ciggy and throw it in there.
That's crazy.
Awful lonely here. No ruckus. No old men playing their little ball game.
Where'd the old guys go?
You mean the guys who were playing pétanque?
Yeah, where'd they go?
Have you noticed people sometimes appear and disappear in places? It's called doing things.
Alright, let's move. Alright, whatever. I'm such a smart butt. Where's running around with a gun? Okay. I guess that's fine. We never found our own gun. How are our tasks looking? Did it like block out some of them now? No? Okay. Oh yeah, it doesn't have the one where we... It doesn't have the one where we, Oh, we were gonna help with the project. Let's do that real fast. We can. Because we're already over there. Not there, down here. To open up the... Oh, we don't have enough green checks. Or we don't have a new white check for it. For the ice cream machine thing. Fishing village. Let's car for a boat.
Officer, what happened? You're limping.
I got shot
Why
in the
are you
foot.
limping? You look terrible.
Some people hurt me.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
I have a question for you.
Of course. Can I help you
We
with
need
something?
to get to that island. Point to it.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've
Point.
got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back.
Easy.
And no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
Nod along attentively.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Thank you. We'll use your skiff to get there then.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Seeing you. Alright, let's give it our best shot.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you.
We can
Are
come
you sure
back,
you want
right?
to go now? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts?
Oh, this is like a
Remember
warning.
what
This
the
is...
nitpicker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
Get in. We're going. We're going to the island. Of course he stands on it like that. Why wouldn't he? Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
Be free. Want to be free. It will last forever.
this is relaxing.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever.
How zoomed out we are. This definitely has some sort of finality to it, it seems like. I'm gonna look this up on Spotify right after this. I bet that antenna thing on top of the church is what causes that silence zone. We're there. Okay. did it.
The boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance.
Let's go.
Level up, nice. Perfect time for one of those. Alright, I'm gonna do more hand-eye coordination just in case we have a fight coming up. What kind of fight would be coming up? I have no idea. Rusted chain trails off into the ocean.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
This leads to the depot and Land's End. What
Ah, yes. So it seems.
do you think it was used for?
Bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
Finish thought. Makeshift bridge. The bombs were powerful enough to break the foundation. Let's see if there's anything down here. Up we go. Inflammable, oh no. Mazet, oh. The fuel has leaked out of the barrel, black viscous. This barrel says ICM, you see a star with little specks on it? No way to get up there, the stairs are gone. Oh, I guess this exits out that bottom part we see to the bottom right. Maybe. There's a lot of stuff in here, actually. This was once an armory at rest. Carefully, stairs have collapsed. Lots of stuff in here.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
What kind of generator is this?
Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator.
Where do these wires lead?
Downstairs, somewhere?
F on the side.
The hollow ring, the canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
What does it
I
mean?
don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
Why is it here?
Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm.
The wind outside picks up.
Pour fuel into
The
the tank.
lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder
Okay,
and a start
let's do
rope
it.
on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull the
The
rope.
recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down.
Look,
to
the
a
smoke's coming out of it.
That should do it.
Nice. Alright, what else we got going on here? Is a bed?
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft-cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
How recently?
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself speak.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
No time to rest now.
Yes, anytime. If you need a rest later, it's okay by me.
Him's the
You don't
best.
have to be a hero.
Alright, what else we got? Candles planted on a broken rangefinder.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Sift.
Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories. You find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp.
I went to a country
Like
bar tonight.
Erotica, an international thriller about
Played
circuit
some
vendors.
pool with my wife and stuff. Really loud music.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Conceptualization. Let me level that up real quick. Alright, conceptualization. Yes. Anything else? Doesn't seem like it. It's okay. We'll try.
Soft covers, serialized fantastic. Not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone who
Okay.
you do feel there's something you're not getting here, though. Oh well.
About this blanket. Moth bitten bedsheet keeps the wind out. Scarf. Dish stain with sauce and fire. Books. Back down here. Alright. This great blast door must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off it.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
It's on the other side.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
How do we open it?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
We open the big one.
I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around.
Okay. Oh. Is it? Yank. Oh, do we have a path to it? Oh, it's just underneath, isn't it? It's just like this. I'm so silly. I'm a silly Billy. Just like this.
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
What is this then?
The console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
Did this open the blast door?
I think, yes. Let's see.
Open.
That one.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
This is good. I don't see how this is helping us find the shooter. This is good.
A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
After you.
Let's go. Oh, what else we got? This door here. I think that we saw this from outside. Window. Window. Okay. Must have been a direct hit. Take out a huge chunk. Okay. The signal horns. Anything down here? No. Up here. Inside the fortress, you make out the console on the blast door. Oh, is this more fuel? Yeah. Weathered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on
Another
a concrete
mattress.
slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
Inspect the mattress.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Pick one out of the can.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
Like the one we found in Land's End.
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This
Back
here
the
knows-
wall.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete
Quite
first.
old and grimy, from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar.
On the left?
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire.
Yeah.
Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
On the right?
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10. The doomed commercial area.
In between the two?
The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sunlight reflecting off.
There we go, we
upstairs
got it.
window Of Clausia's room.
Here it is.
Do you have a line of sight to the window?
Yes, there's an opening between 33A and 10. I can see this to the roof.
I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger. On a calm day like this.
Him, I could make it.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Finally.
In our defense, nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
You're right.
He looks north, over the fortification, then at the mattress.
Could the shooter still be here?
Where?
On this island?
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says he feels uncomfortable suddenly.
We should move now.
Okay. Do we look up here? You have this chain here. Winch is broken.
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander
This is all the
off
time for
into the
this.
sea. Leave it all and walk in with a bottle in your hand.
Read your sight.
In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water.
Check our head. We're not going in the water. So I think now we're going to go down in the bunker. That's the play. Tim's nervous, though. He thinks the shooter's here. Very well could be the case. Maybe down here, too? That's jam shot. Okay. So then we're going to try through the blast door that we opened. See what that's looking like. Rubber dingy, it's deflated, broken. Small white flowers blossom all around you. There he is.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the
This is an old
frame
man.
of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp.
You retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yeah,
Is this our shooter?
helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
Sir, I need you to put that gun down so we can talk further.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
Him?
The lieutenant aims his pistol square at the man's
Look at
forehead.
this.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly, then looks at it like,
Like an amputated limb in the sand.
who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Germany.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Trained in
44
the
years
École
ago.
de Contrôle Orient and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen.
I think we're about to finish this game, maybe.
And ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
How long have you been here?
43 years. No. I've been on other islands too. I was an Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
You said this is your surrender?
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We're with RCM, let's leave it at that.
Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, Le Parti Communiste d'Ancelon. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
His hand shakes, and he breaks into a coughing fit.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
So you're a communist soldier.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not
Understood.
like you belong to the Moralist Party.
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead.
How'd you get between here and the
At
mainland?
night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching
In the city, you move underground?
from bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
The weapons cache under St. Ghislaine 22B. Basement, have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Belmer Graves, right?
They were damaged beyond use.
I know.
So you've been there.
Sleeping.
Another level up.
Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
What about the bunker under the Feld building?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there.
Yeah, we knew this.
Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Kill themselves.
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore.
Tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
How have you survived?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
Coughs once more, then puts his hand on his
How is
belly.
your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
You also have Druamine.
Thank you for clearing that up.
He looks at you, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere.
Been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's the length of my entire life.
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up.
He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where it's morning, on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, people are walking. The gas streetlights have already been switched off. Further inland, in Jamro, the streets come alive with workers. Men, women, children rushing. Muddy avenue after muddy avenue. The temperature is rising. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41.
Always waiting.
For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution.
I've been there. The city is a tinderbox. It may still happen.
It won't. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
I have another serious question.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay, okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But,
No time.
of course, you're on the trail now. Move in. For the kill. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first.
Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor, Colonel?
The who now?
The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth the night of March 4th.
Oh, yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
The lieutenant takes a sudden step toward him.
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the
Oh, we
Commune
gotta
of
get a confession.
Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
What am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Oh yeah.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're
We keep hitting ourselves. Of course.
You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal. Nothing else comes up. You see the lieutenant watch you. Try to stimulate
Got
thought
this.
processes by hitting
Got
yourself.
this.
I'm sorry, this didn't do anything. Usually hurting yourself does.
Officer, a word?
I'm almost there.
Almost where? Almost ready to bleed to death.
No, come on. A word. Let's go. I think we may have this.
Do you think you did it?
From nothing to this in a day. This is good, Lieutenant Gefreiter. We just need a confession first, and then maybe a solid motive later.
What am I missing? What haven't I done?
Well, I can think of one thing. The gun. We should pick it up and discuss it in front of him. Make a show of it.
Okay.
Remember, he wants to tell us, but he doesn't want to help us. It needs to look like we already have everything.
Get the gun.
Minions of capital. What
Pick up
do
the
you
gun.
want?
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stopped.
We got him.
Attached in places with tape and wire. Still warm from his parched hands. Not the metal. The metal is ice cold. This weapon has been modified several times.
This rifle has been patch modified several
I
times.
wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. He just stares in front of him.
Back it
The
closer.
rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
This uses jacketed ammunition, 446.
Jacketed. Military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
This is a Triangong made in...
Worn. Personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bout of wind.
So the gun.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. Some kind of involuntary response. Something is slightly off with his motoring. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him later.
Composure. Let's
I ain't go.
try to increase our composure before we go on. We did have a level up, so we can do compose. And then we do any clothing that's good for composure. I don't know if we have any, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe we do. Oh, nice. Our cool shoes. I think that's gonna be it. Alright, let's keep talking to him.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
Let's assess his body language.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild,
Surprisingly okay.
indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there.
Animated by
It is
what?
capable of. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the
Dementia?
reeds. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different.
He's a psycho, I
When
bet.
his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even. Not senile. Is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something. Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
You're on some kind of substance.
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
Are you on amphetamines?
Like some kind of decadent rock star.
Are you okay? How's your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage.
Yeah.
And the stomach thing too, of course. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
One more time. We can talk about you killing him.
Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Tear into him again. Pile it on him.
I wonder what brand of boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa.
He looks at his running shoes covered in
Show me
mud.
the souls, please, Mr. Doras.
Fucking imbecile.
Black and white spiral pattern. That's not what
The
we want.
maker is called Sensory. You see their V-shaped logo, but can't make out the side. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned souls you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Maybe it's simpler than that.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
People change shoes doesn't mean you weren't there near the room the victim died in, sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind.
The Maybells.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here.
I haven't seen them anywhere else but here.
They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it. filled with broken, useless trash.
We're gonna get this guy.
Fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
Young woman called that. Ring any bells? These dry flowers were behind her window.
Classier.
You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite voluntary.
We've done the ballistics.
Saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You have been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long. You need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
It's the best uninterrupted line of sight into that window.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Another sudden twitch, then one more in his right eye.
Leave no stone unturned. Get him on what matters most.
I don't need your cooperation, I got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Stop changing subject. We have the murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon. Nice. Lieutenant takes out his notebook and draws a single line.
This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder. You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
He was a killer, but he was still under the protection of the law.
Beating us to the ground.
Got him.
Moaning
Got him.
with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop eating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when
This
they die
guy's so
by
pissed.
the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
He shot him?
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
You can almost see him squeeze a tear out of his eye. His fists begin to tremble from the
The
anger.
lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
Just nod.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death. And that stupid
Got him.
look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then, a hot flash of rage almost carries the smile away. Some dark peace.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own, and so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Lieutenant asks after a second of silence.
Yes.
And you were
Yeah.
looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The lieutenant takes out his notebook slowly, very slowly.
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking?
I'm always looking.
He cocks his head to the side, then turns his eyes to the city. Another tremor passes his right side, lower in intensity.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the
And if you don't like it,
click.
It's a part of the shit you see.
then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
What did you not like about what you saw?
Them fucking. I didn't like that.
You were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself, drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing.
Gross.
That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
The caliber of bullet he used does not do that kind of damage.
How long had you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving,
Past the Fell building on the coast? What was she doing there?
hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
And beautiful.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut.
You looked into it?
Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible. Well made, actually.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. Oh, I mean,
Moving on, did you continue watching her after this?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook? From the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
How'd you see all this, the bruises that she was beaten?
I'm not blind, am I?
Plus 97%. See, watching from the peephole?
It quickly comes to you.
Bruises on her body, any chance you've seen them through a hole in the wall?
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers
This
into
guy's a
little
total
lines with a
creep.
knife. Masturbating.
Everything in him fills with impossible longing, all at once.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife.
Ever see her through a window on a roof?
Like that, too. Yes.
Been through the secret route behind the whirling rags. Those were your footprints there. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
That too.
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good.
That's
Funny
awful.
how light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen.
Totally
A quick
got this,
glance
guys.
at you.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant.
Oh,
did
you got
that.
the keys.
I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
It was about her.
Her.
He repeats, staring at the ashes, then the reeds. There's a twitch in the corner of his eye.
The lieutenant nods at
Two
you
level
in
ups.
acknowledgement.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
She got away. But she led us here first.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right
That's
into
crazy.
It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol, cold rain falls on 40-story towers. Above,
Check it out.
on the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still, she smiles among the crowd, fading from your mind's eye.
Oh.
He knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring it out, day by day, cigarette by cigarette.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again.
This guy's gonna
Straightens his back.
admit to another murder,
The
isn't he?
familiar put of hatred.
More specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their
Dude, we're at a
favorite thing
full
to do
hour
in
for
the
this
whole
video, but
world.
I feel like we're about to
Listening
finish. Let's finish.
race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries.
What's inland?
Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare?
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square.
Let him
Not
finish.
since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruin. In tents, like animals. Like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
Nod.
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht,
Voice.
licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cop parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day.
Oh,
It's
that
not
one
enough
guy.
that
He was
the
sick.
Racists and liberals are dancing on our graves.
I forget
The
his
old
name.
loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too.
I
Every
think.
morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon or Koyamoran, or
Guys just
some
talking,
other
talking,
island
talking.
they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex, with their own children.
Say nothing.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just
Imagine
an excuse for them
being able
have
to talk this
sordid
much about
sex.
things.
At least that old cunt Frisell is now dead.
Just nod.
We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores.
What follows is ominous mumbling. You cannot make out a single word.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating.
No.
Glad? It's all gone.
You're under arrest.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Got him.
The wind picks up.
Are we
The
gonna arrest
silence
him?
on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
Oh, we got him.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Level up perception real quick. 2 times. Where's that at? Where's that at? Where's perception?
There it is.
Yeah. Level
To
6 is
your
2.
north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other.
Not the Phasmoid.
In the middle of it,
What?
something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat.
Josh Kim, do you hear that?
What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
Your skin crawls.
What's going on? Oh my gosh. What the? It's the thing. It's real.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
Giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It
Still
looks
Indian
straight at
Phasma.
you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you,
Getting closer.
and your gun head rise instinctively.
There it is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Kim, can you see it?
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If
Oh
you
yeah,
can
Kim's
see
looking
it,
at it.
then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence.
It's
Its
crazy.
limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long
What
stilt-like
the
legs,
fuck happened to this
antennae
game?
hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it
So
produces
huge.
a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
Approach carefully.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Sweat drips from your brow, soak in your chest. You reek of it, your chemical. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs.
Oh my gosh.
The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Hey, I'm here. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs
Look
continue.
more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip.
I hope this isn't about to kill me.
It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
It's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of
This
reeds,
is insane.
little pinprick
I
eyes
never predicted
detect
this.
motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. No, stop. Be afraid.
Use your other hand too.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own.
I hope this is
They
safe.
are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
Right. Don't pray to me. I'm nothing.
The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers above you, parting the reeds it emerged from. Tuft-like structures still rustle on its joint. Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
It's fire burning
Fire? Where?
inside.
I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not even blood, but lymph, like sap from a one palm. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
What's happening? Is this a dream?
No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me.
Intruded upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals. And internal sensations. A swarm of sounds. Tiny vibrations from the inside of my
Dude, it's
forearm.
4 a.m. right now
All
for me.
speak of
This is too
complexities
trippy for this time of
only
night.
beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel. Weightless. So light.
What is happening?
It only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul. And if I did, it would never burn.
I'm glad to be me.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you. With all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. Eternal damnation, even when you're sleeping. And when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind.
Keeping my shit
It
together.
must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins
That's
out
so
of
nice.
control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you. And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leafy
In honor of your shit, Lieutenant Ifreter,
Yeah.
which you kept together.
I have to say goodbye. Well, we need to find. I am a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
The killer.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
You're destroying him?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep him from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the
Crazy.
It may have unknown, dangerous biochemical.
No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also,
Crazy.
by the soldiers, I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2
I have to say
scientific.
goodbye.
No, there is one more.
All the creatures I've met, you're the most beautiful.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. For freedom.
What woman?
You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So awfully far you were prepared to go in her presence. And it.
I will try.
She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay, Kim, take the picture.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash
Ouch.
of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a
Oh,
sword.
what a beautiful
The
picture.
phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
Got it.
A shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion.
Disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water. The long limbs
You
carry
did it.
its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Bye, Phasmid. Holy shit. That's what's made this guy crazy.
And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water and something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there among the reeds.
It's gone.
What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
Our suspect is not looking so good.
See what's in the box first. What did we just get? Rifle scope. Okay. Let's go check on this guy.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the phasmid?
Mr. Doras?
The man does not respond.
Yeah, he's
He
gone.
keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets.
Gonna die.
His toothed mouth shaking like an addict of some terrible substance.
Wave your hand in front of his eyes.
A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
Alright. Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland, to get help. He'll be safe here, if we don't take...
There's more? I thought that was the end. I really thought it was the end. What more could there be? We had to go through all the steps of getting him medical help too? Gosh, I really should end the video. But I feel like we're so close.
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Finish thought. I don't have time for that. We're getting out of here.
The skiff is swaying.
Mainland.
Yes, we are done here.
Okay. Please just skip the travel.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight, but for the sound of conversation on the wall, you reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Someone inland waiting for you. Lady's gone.
Look what the tide brought in.
Oh, it's John.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
This was the father.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar. And
I had a
this is
feeling he
your
was our
special
partner.
Task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisoragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your...
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty one.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about.
What's this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Shit kid.
Thus.
What an interesting moniker.
What have you been doing? Where have you been? Oh. How'd you know I was here?
Cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I understand. Okay, guard told you.
And people on the street helped us too, with your whereabouts.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk.
Mission Task Force?
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar.
Yeah, totally.
Well, he doesn't remember.
See? He really doesn't remember. It wasn't a sick joke. At least that's good.
Yeah, that's very good.
What's the shit kid?
Maybe you've deserved it.
None of this is ringing my bells.
Bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trent, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of
Yeah.
money, e-solar, pound, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to
Oh
hear
my
Harry's
goodness.
thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you?
Something so sad happened to me that couldn't be me anymore.
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying. Or insane. Or both.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural.
The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the Next World mural. Those were recent. Those cases were hard on...
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea. Yes.
They think I'm faking it.
Practice.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio.
Yeah,
the
the world's just crazy.
People live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world team, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it, totally hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be?
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
I'm ready to lead again.
No one even mentioned that.
What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Stand there.
Yeah. Just stand there. It's cool.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
I don't know. I don't know what it's doing there.
I do. You drove it into the water. Everyone on the street saw you do it. It's going to be a local landmark too, on the brochure. Thank you for fucking us, Harry. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna... It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show
Got
me
my
your
badge right here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't
Gotcha.
sustain a grip on...
We got double ones. We dropped it.
You juggle the badge for
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
as if having your badge and gun are natural states.
I have a new gun.
I don't care if you have a new gun. I only care about your...
I don't have that. I don't have the sidearm.
I knew it.
This isn't cause for...
I would say it's very bad. Yes.
We're just
You're
going
driving
over
an
all the
asshole,
different
Harry.
in-game
Please
scenarios
put the
now, I
stolen
think.
firearm away before you kill someone.
Try not to. I can't work. I quit drinking.
I don't buy it.
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Yes, it's been a bit of a week. I'm sorry. I smell bad.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuragis. We know.
Not taking her in was the right thing to do.
Oh, well. If she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect. The one who shot herself. In the head. Or the fact that you're Everard Claire's little peony now. Doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote compared to the 7 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could.
I feel like we got a bad ending.
The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot and survived only because of his armor. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
That's what he said.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take on Lieutenant Yofretor?
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge. That's all true. And he's been drinking on the job.
The man sighs deeply.
Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists he isn't characteristic enough. It's odd, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a hustler. He grinds. He makes the real. He's a visionary and a money engineer, which is just... And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped working on the case. He is tireless, madly driven, and he solved it near perfectly. In 1 week we have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator. Locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years.
Yeah,
ever since the revolution.
that's right.
Who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species. A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers. You hear gasps, but
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land
Say
in
nothing.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence, exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia. He fell into a stupor after its appearance.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't even have words for it.
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
The killer we have strong motive for.
Lelianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
Here's the motive,
Of
please.
course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
Act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lelianovich was an old...
A strange psychosexual fascination, the result of spending all this time in solitude on the islands of this bay. And trauma too. He himself gave a political reason. In his mind, he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room
Yeah.
in which the mercenary died. Right
Did
on
it.
the island.
This is the end of the
And
game
two
for sure.
officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
I did all I could. Every second was a struggle.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It will pass in time.
So what do you say? You want to take me back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species.
Yeah.
And solved the murder. So I have to. Jude,
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
The man looks wet, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
I'm ready. End.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, you close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme,
Our
a
old
square
cases.
bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Yes. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's quite unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price points his pen at the doctor. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through, and when he does, he'll side with Revachol.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
End. Oh, come on. Good hug. Give a big hug. Dressed like this for the end. music's picking up too. Bye, Kim. We're gonna miss Kim. Slow zoom out. Yeah. Did it. We finished Disco Elysium. Feels great. We solved the murder. We had an okay ending, I think. We did it. There was still so much stuff to do, like side quests and stuff, but we did it. Solved everything. Feels so good. Killer was just a crazy guy, of course. Isn't it always? Sheesh, but it is late. It's 4:25. This video's gone on way too long, so we're gonna end it here. I hope you're all having a great day. Thanks for sticking with me through this journey. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. Peace out.